Hello everyone, Jinsi here from Gems Abroad. Today I'll be sharing the techniques to enhance your PT reading skills. As you know, there are 4 modules in PT starting with speaking, writing, reading and listening. Reading is the third module which has 5 tasks starting with reading and writing fill the blanks, multiple choice, multiple answer, reorder paragraphs, reading fill the blanks, and the last is multiple choice single answer. So you need to have some skills to do reading. What are the skills? The first is you need to understand context or the topic. What is the topic about? What is the text? And the second, you need to have vocabulary. Vocabulary in the sense, the meaning of the words. If you don't know, if there are 4 options, if you don't know the meaning of one word, you will find it difficult to solve the question. And third skill is a little grammar. And the last is your collocations. Collocations play a role in your reading fill in the blanks. So you need to learn academic qualifications to solve the reading. Okay, so I'm going to share my slide to show what all techniques that you need to know. So the first technique is skimming and scanning techniques. So the skimming, which means you should quickly go through the passage to get the main idea before you dive into details. Before you search for the details, you need to know what is the topic about. And also you can look for the topic sentence because in any English, when you take a context, the first sentence will be your topic sentence. So what is the topic about? That you can just read it out from the beginning itself. From the first sentence itself, you can identify what is the topic or what is the context about. And you can look for topic sentence, keywords, and concluding lines to understand the gist. What is a passage? So if you understand the topic and if you go through all these keywords, you will get an idea of overall passage. The second technique is scanning for questions that require specific information. For example, your multiple choice questions. If a question is asked and if there are options here, you need to look for the specific information, or you can look for the dates or the names. How well you will do? You have to practice this scanning method, which involves looking for specific words or numbers without reading everything. So you can mark in your if there's a question, you can pick these specific keywords and then you can locate it into the passage. You can locate that details in the passage and you can quickly take out the information. So the both the techniques are very important, skimming and scanning, because it also consumes time. It also saves time because reading module time management is a very important thing. So if you want to, for example, you will be having 30 minutes to solve the 5 tasks. And if you want to consume the time or if you want to save your time, the first technique is you have to skim and you have to scan the passage. Skimming is like just go through what is the topic of. Scanning is like locate with the keywords. Okay. And the second technique, you have to focus on synonyms and paraphrasing. So PT often rephrases the information from the passage into questions. Which questions, like the questions like multiple choice, multiple answer. If you see, there will be a question here, options here, and the passage. And in your options, it will not be the direct answer. It can be a paraphrase. So you have to practice with the synonyms and paraphrasing exercise to identify when the question is phrasing something differently than the passage. So you have to focus on the synonym. Synonym in the sense like both the words have the same meaning, but it will be different. For example, beautiful, awesome. It gives you the same meaning, but there are different words. And paraphrasing is like rephrasing. The sentence also gives the same meaning, but it will be changed. It will be paraphrased, rephrased, but it will give you the same meaning. And the next skill you need to have is summarization skills. Summarization is like you need to summarize a paragraph in your own words. This helps because if you want to solve your reading and writing from the blanks, you have to summarize what's the context. So this helps with the questions that ask for the main idea or the author's intent. Again, it also applies in your multiple choice questions. You have to summarize a paragraph. Okay, then you have to look for the main details. So these 2 skills are also very important. The next comes the most important part is time management and the speed. Because as I have told you already, timing is very, very important. Since time is limited in the PTE reading section, you have to practice under time conditions. Okay, so set a timer, practice each questions with the time limit. Reading for 2 to 3 minutes and attempt to answer less than a minute per question is very much ideal. I recommend students to take 2 minutes for one question. In your reading and writing fill the blanks, if there are 5 questions, you can take 2 minutes for one question, not more than that. So how will you solve that? By practicing. So in your home, set a timer for 2 minutes, solve one question, then go on to the next one. Don't take more than that time. Solve it quickly. Again, the speed also you should maintain. Students, what they do, they'll read word by words. No, the first technique which I told, skim, scan, locate where the answer will be. Okay, and also what you have to do, practice with diverse topics. Practicing with different topics will help you to come across the unfamiliar topics. So PT passage covers a range of subjects from science to history, because everything will be in academic. So academic related subjects will be. It can be a science, it can be history. So reading the varied materials will help to get comfortable with unfamiliar. You have to practice different types of context, different types of topics. Okay. The next is you should understand the structure, how it goes, how the sentence is flowing, starting from the topic and regarding their supporting details, or it can be a reason, or it can be a problem. Regarding to the problem, it will be a solution. It can be a causes, and regarding the causes, it can be an effect. It can be an argument, or it can be an evidence. So it will be flowing like this. The first few sentences will be the problems, and followed by that few sentences will be the solution for that. And this will help you answering and reasoning the questions. Okay, you have to understand how it goes, how the ideas flows. Again, next is your question types and strategy. So familiarize yourself with the different types of questions such as multiple choice, reordering paragraphs, fill in the blanks. And you have to know the strategy. You have to find out the strategy for solving these questions. For example, in reorder paragraphs, you have to look for the connections or the transitions between the sentences. You need to know for the pronoun. The first will be a topic sentence, or the first can be a noun followed by pronoun. In middle, you will be having the logical connectors such as moreover, however. Okay, you need to find out the logical sequence. You need to find out the correct order. Okay, starting the topic again. If it's about a topic or if it's up to the subject, then you need to look for pronoun, and you can also connectors. It flows, ideas will flows like that. So you need to practice question types and strategy. Okay, the next is note taking. The most important thing, keep a notebook while you practice your reading section. Okay, take the notes. Notes in the sense, if you don't know the meaning of a word, write it down. Learn. Again, revise it tomorrow. So you have written like 10 words yesterday. So don't continue with the next day. You have to revise the last few words so that it will get registered, and this will help you to stay focused, and also it allows quick reference when answering the questions. So note taking techniques is very, very important. If you are not sure of the any word, if you're not sure of the meaning, write it down, learn, then always revise that. Okay, last but not the least is regular practice and mock test. So what you will do, you will skim and you will scan the detail or the keywords, or you will locate the answer. Next, you'll be practicing with the time limit. Okay, so you will set a timer. Once that is done, you will be familiarizing with the words which you are not sure of. You will understand the meaning, or you will learn the meaning, or you will be having n number of vocabulary. Okay, again, when you are done with that, you have to practice regularly. Okay, and also take mock test. So consistent practice with mock test and the time conditions will help in mastering these techniques. Which techniques? The above mentioned techniques. So review errors afterward is crucial for improvement. This is very, very important. Note it. Like once you're done, if you're practicing on a regular basis and if you're taken mock test also, you need to get a feedback from your trainer. You need to get a feedback. That is very much necessary because you will not know where you're doing your mistakes. So you need to rectify. Find out the mistakes, rectify it, then move on to the next mock test. Okay, if you are not doing that, you will be doing the same mistake on your second test also. So you have to review your errors, and which is very, very important for your improvement. When you do the second one, you can see the changes. For example, the first mock test will be around 63, and if you understand what your mistakes you are doing, and if you find it out, like if you have rectified it, and if you've understood that, the next time when you take a mock test, you will not repeat that. This is very important. Clear? Hope you are done with all the techniques. Hope this will be very useful. So keep these techniques in mind. Okay. So, skimming and scanning, skim and scan the passage. You practice with the time limit. Take notes when you're practicing, write it down, revise it, and you need to practice regularly, and you have to take the mock test also. Okay? So now, like I'll be doing some of the questions. So we'll solve questions so that you get an idea of this, how to do your reading fill the blanks. Fine. The first question, hope you can see my screen. Farthest to the east, Sword Beach was the original Pegasus Bridge preserved at the Pegasus Bridge Museum. The museum dashed the story of all the British airborne operations in the Battle of Normandy, including the dash of Horsa gliders just yards from the beach. So farthest to the east, Ward Beach was the original, which is preserved at the Pegasus Bridge Museum. The museum what? The museum is a subject. The museum dashed the story. Story in the sense, how will you story? The museum is a subject. Then what you need here? You need a verb here. The museum dash the story of all the British airborne operations in the. So all is like it's not more than one. So you need a verb here because the subject is here. You need a verb here, and your subject is in singular. The verb has to be plural. You need to search for the plural word. Plural is like your tells. So the answer will be tells the story. Okay. The first option is tells. The story of operations, including the dash of Horsa gliders, shiz yards, including the dash. Horsa gliders is something about, it is a kind of aircraft, and it is used in army, and it is used during the Second World War. So Horsa gliders is like a kind of aircraft. So including the dash, aircraft is it, including the dash, just yards from the bridge. So including the defense, assault, landing, articulates place, the answer is landing. Okay, landing off. Visitors can walk the actual bridge behind the museum to see something dedicated to a British soldier who has been killed during the dash on Sword Beach. So something is dedicated. What is dedicated? Defense, assault, articulates, plague. So the answer will be plague. How many of you knows the meaning of plague? So plague has different meanings. We say in our teeth there will be a cavity. We call it as plague. And also the plague is like you have seen in loving memory of. It will be a kind of a metal or wood they will dedicate in loving memory of. It will be like a photo frame. Okay. So that we call as a plague. So plague dedicated, killed during the dash. He's been killed during where? During the defense, or during the assault, or during the articulates. So he is being killed during the assault. Okay, so first is tells the story, because story we used to tell the story, right? So including the dash, landing off. Already I've told you, some kind of aircraft is a Horsa gliders, which is used in armies like during the Second World War, and to see what something's dedicated, to see a play, It's been dedicated. So, and during the assault. Okay. So first you need to understand the strategy of how to solve your blanks. Then you need not to read the full paragraphs. If you want this blank, you just start read from the beginning and you can read till here. Okay, it's not necessary to read the full paragraphs so that you will be saving much of your time. Okay, we'll move on to the second question. All kinds of predictions may be about something else. So get even more difficult about a subject, right? So about what? About dash get even more difficult to show all kinds of predictions. We predict something maybe about dash get even more likely as exactly two times. Maybe about to get even more difficult, but likely get even as or exactly get even, thanks get even. So above, it's like all kinds of predictions, maybe above to get more difficult. So your first option will be two. Okay, two is your first answer. Next. More difficult dash to climate change. Dash to climate change. Something is to. It's like to, it's a preposition. So the answer will be thanks to. Likely to, no. As exactly, no. More difficult, thanks to. Though no one is sure what its effect will be. No one is sure exactly what its effect will be. It seems that extreme weather conditions, such storms and hurricanes, something is mentioned, one and two, storms and hurricanes, such as are dash become more common, something in common, so likely to become common. Okay, all kinds of predictions may be about to get even, about to get even more difficult thanks to climate change, though no one is sure exactly what is effect. It seems that extreme weather conditions such as hurricanes are dash to become more common. Such events have far-reaching effects on district weather system, making gently forecasting much harder. Okay. So we will discuss the next question. An ice storm is a type of. As you know, of is a preposition of something. Of what? Of something should be right. Of a subject. Ice storm is the type of dash. Type of weather. We are talking about a weather. When dash. When the ice, when icy, when during, more. When more we don't say, when during we don't say, when the ice we don't say. So option is when icy. Okay, the rainfall comes down to the cold air and the water will be turned into something is turned. Something is a transition is happening. Water will be turning into the ice. Once there is a serious ice storm, when dash that 16,000 dash that 16,000 households had a blackout. When 16,000 number has been mentioned. So more than. The fourth option will be more. Had a blackout dash the during ice storm as I. So during is an after option. During had a blackout during the ice storm as the ice storm would smash the cables. So of as a preposition and preposition rule again after of you'll have a noun. Okay. The overall result of to or dash. To or is a preference or is a choice. It can be two or it can be more than that. So two or more. Forces acting on an object is called the resultant force, and the resultant of two forces is a single force which has the same effect as the two forces combined. If two forces pull an object in dash directions, directions is something like you will say south, north, you'll have some directions, right? Directions is like in opposite directions. The size of the resultant can be found by. You can found something. You can find something. How you will find? By subtracting one force from the other. So it's like we subtract number, right? From 5 minus 4, you will get an answer. Okay? From the other. One from the other. So if the forces are dash, they balance each other. So it should be balanced. Okay, it should not be up and should not, should balance. So forces are equal. Okay, so understand the passage. See, when you do your reading or writing fill the blanks or reading fill the blanks, read it aloud to get a meaning or to get an idea of what the context are. Let us then suppose the mind to be, as we say, white paper. How a mind is be mentioned? White paper. White paper is like what? In a white paper, something has been written? No, it's a white blank paper, right? So all characters without. This is we call as like ideas. You have the keyword here. White paper will give you the answer to this blank. White paper is void. Void is completely empty. Void of all characters without. How comes it to be furnished? Whence comes by the vast door, which the busy and dash. Dash fancy of man has painted on with an almost endless. See, again a synonym. Endless will give you the answer for here is boundless. Okay. When has it all the materials of recent knowledge? To this I answer in one word from experience, and that all or knowledge is dash. Knowledge is and from is something, and from that it ultimately what? Ultimately from all our knowledge is founded, and from that it ultimately derives itself. Ultimately is an adverb. Next to the adverb, verb comes. So derives is a verb. So last option will be derives. Here, founded. All a knowledge. To answer this, I answer. To this, to be one word answer from experience. All a knowledge is founded, and from that, it ultimately derives it. Okay. So we'll move on to the next question. Traveling is a popular pastime for many people, offering opportunities for adventure. So traveling is a topic. What is the topic about? Traveling. It's a popular pastime for many people, opportunities for adventure, dash, and cultural immersion. Adventure and something else. For what? It is something it has been considered as a pastime for many people, offering opportunities, dash, and cultural immersion. Adventure, science and cultural immersion, range or relaxation or culture. So what say? See, if you're not confused with this answer, just no problem. Go with the next one, because if you spend too much time for this one, you will be losing your time. So whenever you find it the first blank as difficult, move on. Just move on, so that when the rest of the option is done, you can solve your remaining also. Tourists flock to popular destinations such as Paris, New York, Tokyo, where they can explore museums, landmarks, and local cuisine. Backpackers and adventure seekers often venture off the beaten path, seeking out remote destinations and extreme activities. Travelers can choose from a wide is like it is not limited, it's unlimited. So it's wide range of accommodations from luxury hotels and resorts to hostels and camping hostels and camping, relaxation, sites or culture. Okay, camping sites. Okay. Travel also presents challenges such as navigating unfamiliar terrain, dealing with language barriers, and coping with dash shock. Coping with culture shock. So it's coping, it's like it's to cope up, right? So coping and again unfamiliar terrain. So it's also present. Last and conclusion, they are also telling there are some negatives. What is that? Travel also gives a pastime for this one, but also see there are a positive here and there are also some negatives here. When there is a problem here, there will be a solution here. So this is how these sentences flows. You need to understand, okay? It is mentioned as a past tense for many people, and also it also presents challenges such as navigating unfamiliar terrain, dealing with the language barriers, and coping with dash shock, culture shock. So the rest of the option is what? Adventure. Some for many people it seems to be an opportunity to adventure, to know about something new. Again, what? It is a relaxation and cultural immersion. Okay. So this is how you have to save your time. If you're not getting the first blank, don't spend too much time. Just move on. Then you come back after solving all the blanks. Come back and solve the remaining one. Okay. So we'll do the next one. People who visit health professionals tend to be older than the dash population because illness increases. So health professionals tend to be older than the dash population. Acceptance, contrasted, general, proportion. So population is like older than the proportion population. No, we don't say therapist. No. So the answer will be what? Which suits the best? When we talk about the population, so it is a general population. However, the dash of the population who visited complementary health, dash was highest between the ages of 25 and 60. However, dash. However, who visited something. The lower rates of people age 65 and over dash with the rate of visits to other health professions, which increase steadily with increasing age. The reason for this difference might include lower levels of is a proposition. You need a noun here. So acceptance is a noun. So words in a suffix we have a and c, e and c. Okay. So that is a noun. So last answer is your acceptance. Okay. And over. Dash with the rate of visits, the lower rates of, and over dash with the rates of the professions which increase steadily with increasing age. What would be the answer for this one? Again, over proportion with the over contrasted with the rate of visits or complementary health dash. Health, we don't say health. Complementary health therapist. So the third will be therapist. However, the dash of the population. Population. Did you get this answer? However, the proportion of the population who visited complementary health therapists was highest between this age. So the lower rates of people age 65 years and over dash with the rate contrasted with over, something has been contrast, something you've been comparing. So over, so 4. The first option is general, second is proportion, third is a therapist, fourth is a contrast, and last is your acceptance. Hope you are getting it. So, see, the topic is about a single subject, right? So, people, health professionals. So, the related words will be, and you need to understand the word or the vocabulary which will suit the blanks. Fine. We'll do the next question. Airborne diseases are very easily transmitted and can result in respiratory illness that can be life-threatening. It's therefore no wonder that dash of airborne infections is our major public health dash and so that dash. Therefore, no wonder that dash of are a major public health success or concern or outbreaks. So far, however, such technologies have had limited So far, these technologies have limited what? Limited, we say limited concern, limited. Since this one is therefore no one did that. That success are a measure? No. So the what will be the answer? The first one, that outbreaks of this one airborne diseases are a major public health concern, and that researchers are working hard to cope up with technologies to come up with technologies. So, however, such technologies have limited what? Have limited success. Limited. It has been so. We are talking about an airborne diseases, and it can be transmitted, and it also result in respiratory and also life-threatening. So therefore, no wonder that outbreaks of this one are a major public health. Public. So talking about the public health concern. Okay. So the first will be outbreaks, concern, and success. So we'll move on to the next question. The men of the tent celebrated the dash of the war in the one way that seemed dash appropriate for them. They organized the service. The men of the tent celebrated the what? Seemed of the war, challenged, end of the war, commonly confronted uniquely. So it has been dash of the war. Celebrated the, yes, the answer is end of the war. End is your first. That seemed dash appropriate for them. That seemed. They organized a sky race. It seemed uniquely. Seemed is a verb. By uniquely. Appropriate for them. They organized. On the crusty summer snows of Mount Mangat, where the borders of Italy, Austria, and Yugoslavia come together, the 10th best skiers dash each other. Each other what? The skiers award they each other. They challenged each other. First, Surgeon Walter Prager, the Dartmouth Sky Team coach, won. It dash a fitting way not only to end. See, there's an option. A clue here. End a war, but to begin. It seemed a fitting way. It commonly or it confronted a fitting way not only to end a war but to begin a new world. It seemed so the answer will be seemed. So first is end of the war, seemed uniquely, then challenged each other, then the answer is it seemed. A fitting way not only to end but to begin. It's not ending, it's a beginning, a new world. It seemed, okay? So hopefully we have done the most of the questions and you also understood how to do this fill in the blanks. And what you have to do, you have to practice with these type of techniques. You have to read the paragraph, understand, and what is the passage about, get an idea of overall the topic, and read it aloud so that it will get registered easily. So what is the topic about, what kind of information is revolving, and you need, if you're not sure of the meaning of the word, you have to find the meaning, learn the collocations, and with that, you can solve your reading and you will find it easy. Hope these techniques will help you to solve your reading fill in the blanks. And thank you for watching. And I'll be doing more and more videos. Keep supporting and stay tuned. Till then, bye.